Are you the kind of person that likes talking yourself up before a climb? Telling yourself things like, I can do this, I got this. I always thought that having this kind of mindset was a necessity for being able to accomplish something. If you don't believe you can do it, how are you going to be able to do it? The thing that I found out is that the mindset of talking yourself up, of having self-belief, it doesn't work for me. I felt like I had to progress at a certain rate to be good enough. So, walking up to a boulder that's at my limit, you can imagine how that would create a lot of pressure. And obviously there's a huge disconnect with reality there, because I'm not very good at climbing. So I just tried to walk up to a boulder one day, and I had this experience of just trying to shed all expectations, and I tried to not make a prediction about how it was going to go. And that whole weight of trying to predict and trying to assign value and trying to make myself be or not be whatever I am, that whole pressure is just gone. I know a lot of people like having this kind of positive mindset and talking themselves up and going up to the boulder and telling themselves, I can do this and whatever. For me, apparently that doesn't really work. So I feel like this agnostic mindset thing works really well. While I was figuring this out, I actually came across an incredible video that explained exactly what I was feeling and explained exactly why, it was just putting into words the exact thing that I had experienced myself. I love when that happens because it's just so nice to be validated in whatever you find out, or just seeing that someone else also thinks that way. The video was called You Don't Need Self-Belief by Dave MacLeod. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. He's this really cool YouTuber. He's a super high-level climber on YouTube. And he was basically saying how not all climbers need or benefit from using self-belief as a tool to perform better. And for Dave, what he said, that for him it's easier to approach the situation with reality in mind as it is. Yes, basically telling himself, yes, I might not be good enough to do this climb, but also I might be able to do this climb. So for example, if there's no uncertainty about the climb, right? If he knows he can do it, he would go find a harder climb to do, right? The whole point is that it's a hard climb and that there is uncertainty around whether or not you can do it. That's the nature of the sport, isn't it? So using self-belief, Dave says, can lead to kind of extra mental work because you have to constantly challenge the ideas around it. So when you get evidence contrary to self-belief, you have to constantly work on your mindset to counter that evidence. And being agnostic about your chances, it frees your mind. And this is exactly what I felt happened. I felt like my mental load was just lightened so much, even though the anxiety was the same and the uncertainty was the same and my skills were the same. I feel like just freeing up that mental space made a huge difference. I think another aspect of agnostic mindset is not assigning value to the outcome. So I did feel like I was still having some pressure even after I tried implementing this mindset, because I'd still feel like I should be able to do a climb, I should be better than what I was. And getting rid of that should is so hard, but I honestly think it's so important. I'm gonna keep working on that. I'm gonna keep working on not assigning value. It's quite difficult not to assign value when you have certain goals. I don't have any specific goals or any official goals that I've made for myself. I'm not saying I want to climb a 6B plus at a specific time or anything like that. I feel like it's not really in my control. In 2024, I remember thinking to myself, I would love to be able to climb a 6C at the end of the year. And I'm hardly climbing 6B plus. I'm doing the occasional 6B plus. And I know for a fact that I did as much as I possibly could, which wasn't maybe enough. It wasn't a lot maybe, but I just know between other things that I had to do and tweaky fingers and things like that, having made a goal, an official goal for myself of climbing a 6C would just have been a recipe for injury, probably. Over Christmas, I had like 2 weeks where I didn't climb at all. And I think that was really, really needed. I've had a tweaky finger for about 6 months now. Like, not super bad, but it's just been constantly, you know, flaring up. And that's completely gone away over Christmas, or like 99%. I think it makes more sense to find ways to climb more. Like, if I have a tweaky finger, for example, like one of the things that I did was I wouldn't project the same thing for too long. Like, that's what I'm doing now, because I think the tweaky finger comes because I'm applying the exact same pressure over and over and over again. And that's just not, like, I don't have the stamina for that. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to mix up the boulders more. Like, I won't project the same thing for too long. And also, you know, probably an issue that I've been having that has held me back is that I haven't been able to go more than 2 times a week. And you probably need to go a bit more if you want to progress faster. So instead of saying like, instead of setting a goal of like, I want to climb this grade, I'm trying to set a goal for myself that I want to find a way of being able to go 3 times a week that fits in my schedule, that's not going to injure me. And part of that is creating a healthy mindset, because I know part of the reason that I don't go more often is because the pressure gets too much. So I feel like those things are so much more important and just more efficient ways of actually achieving goals, or, you know, I just want to improve at climbing in the end, right? Yeah, and I think that's just a better way of going about it. Yeah, anyway, that's all from me for today, and I will see you in the next video. Keep climbing.